see, they still got the same faces before. Some of them are definitely different. Let me see. I'm not gonna edit the heads or anything like that. I'm just gonna like pick one. I might just go with this one. I think they call you AI in this game, if I'm not mistaken. And usually, what I do for every year is whatever name that they normally give you, I just kind of just roll with that. I know it's unoriginal, but it's just it makes this little process easier for me. So let me just scroll down the list of names to see what I pick. I'm gonna end up changing this, considering whether or not I play the actual game or not. I'm just doing this just to see. AI. Insanity, Ireland, Isaac. I don't want like I don't want nothing strange or nothing like to copy nobody. Akeem Insanity. That's hilarious. That's stupid. It's corny. Lightweight. You can literally get AI as your player's name. Why don't I just do that? Or can you? If I can just get that as my name, then I'll just do that. Yeah, I'll just do that. Basic head ass nigga over here. I like that. Might as well be that. Colors don't really matter. That's right. Continue. Fast break, half court, run a play, run and gun. It all starts with the point guard. The two guard will be asked to get open for quick and catch and shoot opportunities and create their own open looks off the dribble. The three needs to be versatile enough to move seamlessly between outside shooter and inside scorer at a moment's notice. So that's the thing, Giannis is not an outside shooter though. A true four can take on his defender both face to face or back them down in the paint. A stretch four shooting for range can also have havoc on defenses. Are these like recommendations or they just give me like a generalized opinion? There is no substitute for a truly dominant five. They can grab a rebound at one end of the court and finish in the paint at the other. Right. I usually go point guard straight off rip, so. And then usually for my other characters, I make changes as necessary. And this is the part where I fucked up last year. Lob City finisher, posterizer, all these goddamn settings. Quick reflexes. For those who don't know, quick reflexes is for when you get it's to help you get steals and shit like that. Even though they don't, sometimes that shit is purely based off of your timing. Person, you really don't need it, but it's a badge in the game. So at least this is me basing this all off of 2K18 experience. So, alright, let me go with because initially all these other ones I kind of don't really care about because I'm usually go with passing ball handling as my primary. It's these other ones that matter. This was my build last year that I made and I regretted it. See, you get ankle breaker on gold this year. Last time you got it on Hall of Fame. Lob City passer, dimer, free throw ace, posterize on silver. Like I said, if this build ends up being able to dunk on people, which I don't think that will be the case, but if that ends up happening, I will be very upset. I will be very upset. Okay, flashy passer, pick and roll maestro, Lob City passer, dimer, one man fast break. Considering the fact that they've been handing out Hall of Fame badges on from they've been handing it feels like they kind of hand them out a little bit more generously this year than they did last year. And this is just me basing this off the prelude. I get the feeling that Hall of Fame badges they're gonna mean something still, but they're not gonna mean as much as they did in the past. All right, let's keep looking through. So the sharpshooting playmaker does not have any Hall of Fame badges right off rip, but you got a lot of gold badges. Hmm. And they gave you deep range data on bronze this year. Okay. Pure playmaker at 7, ankle breaker, flashy passer, break starter. See, I felt like they should have gave you break starter Hall of Fame last year. If passing is like your main thing, like is one of your main things, that should have been a thing. One gold bash for just free throw ace. All right, I was considering the two builds I was considering for this year was either a two-way playmaker, which is this build, or a sharpshooting playmaker. Those are the two main ones I was really considering. So I see that. And I gotta play around with the settings a little bit because I am curious if two-way just means a silver defensive stopper for every build, or um is that just for like a playmaker primary? Because they switch up some things depending upon how you mess up with this stuff. Flashy Press break starter. Huh. Post scoring. I don't. You actually get. They actually give you Hall of Fame badges for doing that. For doing this. See, before I thought they gave Hall of Fame badges. I'm referring to 2K18. I thought they gave you Hall of Fame badges if your build made sense. In other words, if you're a point guard, you wouldn't really be a post scoring or a rebounder. You know what I mean? That's why they gave you Hall of Fame badges. Not to say that this probably wouldn't make sense, but if you're already gonna be handling the ball in the first place, as you can see, it's my primary skill. What would be the point of me getting the ball in the paint too? I feel like, or I mean, I don't know. I guess that maybe you can do your thing up top, like you can pass the ball and dribble and stuff like that. And then the time when you get tired of that, or if you want to set up a different play, you can set up a play where if your team is willing, throw you the ball down in the post and let you go to work down there, kind of like a Russell Westbrook in a sense, because he sometimes does that. You still get catch and shoot. So that if you get catch and shoot with this badge, I mean with this archetype, then that means catch and shoot is really undervalued, and it can't be the same way. It can't work the same way as it did before. Then again, it's hard to really tell how well it actually worked because in 2K18 shooting was hella difficult. So okay, I mean yeah, those Hall of Fame badges really are just those are all passing badges. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You even get one. Okay, you just get break starter. Yeah. So all the Hall of Fame badges that you get are usually just based off your primary. In this regard. Driving and finishing, shot creating. Shot creating. Believe it or not, all of these, even more than the two-way, is an elite player's way of taking the game by the scruff of the neck and saying we're going to do it my way. Defending is not all steals and blocks. It's reading the offense and knowing where and how to inflict maximum disruption. and I'm not sure if I talked about this in a previous video or not, but I definitely had a two-way playmaker was my actual very first build. Listen, that I had in 2K18's Prelude, but then shied away from it because of the 3-point rating, which is the same thing I might have to end up doing here. Because one, being able to shoot threes is just, it's satisfying. It really is satisfying. 17. See, that is a significant drop off. But at the same time, I'm looking at the 3-point rating between these two builds here. Because mid range is going to be there regardless. It's just, it's really off of how you starting that off. And then like, these were the Hall of Fame badges. I think if they slipped up and gave you difficult shots on at least gold, I definitely probably would have been considering this badge. I mean this one more, but I think you can still get away with that. Because technically speaking, it's hard to place it, but I feel like some of these archetypes are reminiscent of, like, they're all different pieces of that playmaker that was in 2K17. Because 2K17, you were a slasher, and you were a shot creator, and you were a 3-point shooter, depending upon how you made your build. I mean, at least I was at least a shot creating and a 3-point shooter with my build. As far as dunking, I mean, I dunked the ball, but I never dunked on people. So I guess I was all three. Ball handling. See, I don't know if that's considered too low. This would personally be my preferred build. I would like to be a two-way. I like to play defense well and be good. Like, and be able to basically handle the offense. But at the same time, it's more relaxing when I can take a break from basically always handling the ball, throw the ball to someone else, have them do their thing. I spot up in the corner somewhere, or I just spot up anywhere, and then just hit the open shot. Because one, I'm really good at timing my shot. Usually. uh, okay, 17 and 5. That is a significant difference. 17 and 13. I don't know why I said 17 and 5. Shot creator is better handling. I'm usually just looking at the build, so I'm gonna look at the different ones here. Defending primary. Charge card, pick dodger, pickpocket reflexes. Quick reflexes. Okay, yeah, so quick reflexes is a defensive badge then. Which, I mean, I have my doubts. I know what I said earlier. I was just having my doubts, that's all. So, yeah, okay. Another thing I'm noticing, all of the badges that they give you are all based off of this list. In terms of like your Hall of Fame badges, it's based off the pure version of the primary skill, and then after that, it just like spreads those little Hall of Fame badges out up on the other ones. So if anything, you can see like you lose defensive stopper goes to gold here. See, they actually for all of them other than a pure, it goes to gold. I can't believe people picked playmaking defender. I mean, a playmaking defender, yeah, in last year's 2K. I thought that was pretty idiotic in my opinion. I mean, I apologize if anybody saying who watches this video or stream or whatever, and saying is watching this and they felt I'm getting on them at that point, but it's, I mean, hey, you made your choice, man. But I would definitely never probably pick a defender primary. Also, another thing I noticed, I don't see the floor general badge anywhere, which is one thing that always heavily influenced me to get passing and ball handling as my primary, because I was always considering shot creator as my primary, because shot creators kind of do I mean, hell, they do their thing, okay? They do their thing. I mean, look at these badges. I mean, don't know why the hell they get up and under specialists on gold, but they even got limitless range on silver. Pure shot creators. I can't remember in 2K18 did they have limitless range at all? Like even on bronze? I know they had catch and shoot. They had Loud City Finisher on bronze. Ankle Breaker was on gold, I think. I think that was actually on gold. The passing badges were. The biggest surprise about that is the fact that they allow you to shoot a lot more with this badge. Like, this is personally, you could spot up as just as well as create with this archetype, and not to mention go to work in the post. If you like doing all three, this is the archetype for you. Post spin technician. If you know how to do the up and under consistently, yeah, this is your badge. Cause that would be your go-to move is the up and under. They don't have a fade ace badge though, so I don't really know how good your fadeaway shot would be. Because usually I think that's how people normally set up the up and under, is they go up for a turnaround 3 point. But I feel like that's probably a difficult shot badge. That would make sense because it's a leaning. I mean, it's not really a leaning, but it's a fadeaway shot. So, and that's usually when the difficult shot badge is not the ability to find an open shot. It's the skill and willingness to make daylight where non-existent. Pure shot creators should be able to do the speed boost and stuff like that. I feel like they should be able to. If they can, it makes sense why their anchor breakers on silver. I feel like that keeps it balanced. But I feel like shot creators should be pure shot creators at least should be able to do that. Even though also you can't forget the fact that I did hear about the fact that pure shot creator primary when they get their takeover, they do a thing where they if you hit those little step back animations and stuff like that off of a shot, you can break someone's ankles with that. So that's something to look out for. And I feel like this build should definitely be able to speed boost because both of these builds focus on ball handling in a sense. No lead way of taking the game by the scruff of the neck and saying we're gonna do it my way. Two-way shot creator. Okay, yeah, two-way just means that you get that bitch on silver. Yeah. God damn, 16? Shit. I think that's more than the playmaker. I think that's more than the playmaker. Yeah, that's way more than the playmaker. Good God. I probably should have organized this a little more. I probably should. Yeah. Cause I'm like I went from playmaker to defending. Then yeah, I really did not organize this right. Oh well. Chakra and postcard. You should definitely get. I would have thought. Hold on. Let me look at those gold badges. Let's finish it. Really? I would have thought because shot creators they already give you like post badges. I would have thought you'd have more post badges on gold as your secondary. I mean, I get that's not that's not the main thing, but at the same time, that's you're basically enhancing that. Unless they did, I don't know. Posterizer on silver though, that's definitely a change for this build. Though I don't really know what a silver posterizer actually means because my slashing playmaker had a silver posterizer and I was not dunking on anybody, so probably that just means that you dunk in traffic more often than others. You don't dunk on people, you just dunk more in traffic, I would imagine. So keep that in mind. So unless I'm wrong, but I don't feel like I am. Rerunning this build is debatable. I wouldn't do this. I would not be a guard and then choose rebounder, especially when you're gonna have like glass cleaners and everything else going on. Yeah, that's an obsolete thing to do. Slashers, I'm check them out. Start the beginning. Pure slashers, what they getting this time? Anything new? Uh, Before they never allowed you more than like 5 Hall of Fame badges, so there's definitely something new here. I just don't remember what it is. Teardropper, Relentless Finisher, It was probably Teardropper. I feel like Acrobat, they would have gave you that. Tyler score, defensive stopper, charge card, free throw ace. Hmm. Also, for those who wanna just see like me like start playing stuff like that, I will put a timestamp in the comments or anything like that. So, but for right now, I'm just trying to check out all these builds and see what they got, and I like to take my time. So, just ready to give a generalized look, and just in case, because you need, honestly, I feel like you need to do this in order to really get a feel for like what secondary character you might want to make. You know what I mean? So sometimes that's where these videos come in handy for. So that's why I was saying earlier. I wish I would have organized this a bit more. All right, so you lose tireless score as a Hall of Fame badge, and no, you lost posterizer as a Hall of Fame badge, not tireless score, right? Let me go back. Yeah, you lost posterizer as a Hall of Fame badge, but you got tireless score as a gold badge. It's the focus of any player who dreams of acrobatic layups and high flying dunks. Corner specialist. Huh. Did I look at the bronze bat? Hold on. Pure slashers. This is as a point guard, mind you, too. Keep that in mind. This is also as a point guard, so you're gonna get like badges like an ankle breaker and shit like that. You know, kind of some things that don't really make sense in it. I actually probably might go back and look at the other positions as well. So since they're not timing me, hell, I'll spend the whole entire fucking prelude just doing this. To be honest, I'm not even so sure I'm even gonna play this game. I'm just keeping that. I'm just keeping it real. Just keeping it 100. All right, because when 2K18 really fucked me up, you actually get ooh. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but you actually get defensive stopper on silver just being a pure slasher. That's interesting. That's interesting. Pure slashers get defensive stopper on silver. Okay. So they somebody to, so basically pure slashers are a two-way they are two-way players. Interesting. I don't know how effective that badge is going to be in this game, but I know a bronze defensive stopper ain't doing shit for you. That's about one of the more useless badges in the game. They ain't doing dick for you. But that's interesting. A pure slasher has a two-way, so basically, my dude Guwap could probably roll with a pure slasher because he likes to dunk on people, but he do like to shoot too. What's his 3 point? Ugh, that 3 point is. Ugh. I don't know, maybe. But then again, you know what? Again, this is just for a point guard. It's just for a point guard. I have to look at the position that he be playing. He usually be playing like two positions. He played like small forward and power forward, but that might work out for him. Lob City finisher, acrobat. Okay, we looked at this one, and then you get defensive stop on bronze. I have not been paying attention, but has the other ones that I looked at, did they get defensive stopper at all? Because is it possible to not even get defensive stopper, or do you automatically get it? I feel like you automatically get it, but I'm not sure. I know I used to see a lot of the mixing between slashing and sharpshooting, and then like the flip flop version of it. Yeah, I used to see a lot of that in 2K18. I wonder how people's opinion of that build was. I always saw random people play with it, but no one I knew ever did it. Person, so far, the most impressive thing I've seen about a slasher primary right now is the fact that they got fucking silver defensive stopper. They are a two-way player. They are a two-way. That is crazy to me. That score is ankle breaker. Because if anything, hell, I might reference this stream actually myself when I decide to go back and look at these builds. Because see, sometimes they switch up some things and they patch some badges, certain things like if a build is like OP as hell when it first starts out. Sometimes when you say later on down the line, some of these badges will not be the same. Like the playmaking shot creator when he first came out, Hall of Fame badges. Later on down the line in the year, they switched that Hall of Fame ankle breaker to a gold. So it's just the little things like that. So some of these badges that you see will not be definitive. Potentially come later on in the year. Lob City Finisher and Posterizer. Those are the two. Hey, those are the two main badges that you need as a slasher right there. And you should. Personally, I'm surprised that a two-way slasher doesn't have that shit on gold. I really am surprised that a two-way slasher does not have defensive stopper on gold. I feel like they definitely would have put that on gold because a pure slasher gets it on silver, and that's impressive. I'm really am curious about that badge. That is definitely something people should be looking out for. Yeah, as pure slashers can play defense. They can play defense now. They can affect your offensive badges. Defending, post scoring slasher also has defensive stopper on silver. It's looking like driving and finishing primary is also going to be a defending archetype in a sense. That's crazy. I never really saw too much of this. I think Ronnie 2K was this archetype, but he was a small forward or some shit. So take what you will with that information. You know what I'm saying? So this is the Ronnie 2K package right here. He has pickpocket, pick dodger, charge card, defensive stopper, all the good shit. I'm telling you, I think in that's rebounding. That has nothing to do with defense. I mean, then again, if you go to like which I'm curious now. Ignore me doing this, unless oh no, you can't even get that. Oh, some things you can't even get as your primary depending upon your position. I did not know that. But yeah, like so far as slashing would go, and this is just for a point guard. Oh god damn it. Damn, I fucked up. I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna see if they can let me go back real quick. But yeah, a pure slasher. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, I can't go back. But yeah, a pure slasher with all these Hall of Fame badges. Quick reflexes is debatable. You get defensive stopper. You do get pickpocket on silver and pick dodger. You still get defensive badges. I'd say this is probably the most one I've been impressed. I've been impressed the most by this one, probably for a point guard, if I'm being honest. Because I'm really curious to see how that defense will work. I never looked at a pure playmaker, did I? How the fuck did I never do that? And yes, there are some archetypes where you don't even get a defensive stopper badge, so keep that in mind also. Okay. So I looked at driving and finishing, I looked at shot creator. I didn't look at sharpshooting, so I guess we can look at that. Corner specialist, deep range, dead eye, limitless range. I don't know why this meter works weird. This little scroll down bar. You have to press it a few times to scroll down. Mid range, dead eye. 3-point shooting. I mean, nothing too crazy. From what I can tell, you don't even get a defensive stopper badge, but you still get pickpocket on bronze. And again, this is for a point guard, as you can clearly see on the middle of the screen. Tyler scorer, corner specialist, mid range dead eye, deep range dead eye, limitless range. You also have to keep in mind that these your primary gets enhanced once you get to that takeover, and then once you get to a certain overall later on down the line, then your secondary archetype becomes more of a factor in takeover as well. So this finisher, ankle breaker, flashy passer. My goodness. I mean, I definitely would not be using this badge. I don't know if I'm ever gonna create me a sharpshooter primary. I can't do it. Corner specialist, deep range data. Okay, this is pure. This is the bread and butter for all them shooters out there. What they gonna get? So no defensive, like no defense, like at all, other than like charge card on silver. Yeah, but you do get the free throw ace on Hall of Fame. Free throw ace on Hall of Fame. Okay. Free throw ace on gold. This is basically the reverse of. I saw a couple of this. I saw this archetype more in the beginning stages of 2K18. As time went on, it kind of faded away. People shied away from this archetype. So I would imagine it didn't turn out the way people thought it would. Especially when pure stress bigs were like doing they were breaking animations and stuff like that, and they were able to do elite those elite dribble moves anyway. So there was no need to have the secondary skill as playmaker anyways. Completely neglected that. A two-way sharpshooter. There should be some of this in this year's 2K. I saw a lot of this in 2K 18. Truth be told, I did play a few pro-am games. You don't even really see it in walk on either. But I guess because this is more or less a support type of archetype. So they give you passing badges. That's interesting. Why? Why though? I don't think it's ever possible, but I could have sworn at some point as a slasher primary that they're gonna give you phone over here and interrupting me and shit. That they were gonna give you like a defensive stopper on like gold at some point without being an actual defender. Because they are very generous with defensive stopper this year. Very generous. Especially since defense, that they were saying all that shit about defense this year. I don't know. I don't know. It's really actually, believe it or not, it kind of makes being a two-way playmaker, they're making it more obsolete in a sense. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the badges later, and look at the attributes. Oh shit, my fault. I haven't even. Oh, let me go back, and then that way you guys can look at the attributes. I completely neglected. I was just looking at the badges. This is shot creating sharpshooter, pure sharp. So you cannot get the thing all the way upgraded right off rip for a 3-point shooter. But I mean that's still good enough. You still gonna be hitting. Hell, you can make a fucking sharpshooting playmaker and you'll be hitting more than likely. This is the playmaking sharpshooter. If you want to make that build, I would. I definitely wouldn't do it unless they allowed that build to speed boost, which I sincerely doubt it. Defense seems like it's gonna be lackluster regardless of what you take, unless you get a two-way sharpshooter from the looks of it. So sharpshooting might again be the worst defending build. Hell, I heard that glass cleaners, pure glass cleaners actually have rim protector on gold. So I'm definitely want to look at that. But I think that's everything because I did look at passing ball handling. I did look at defending. Yeah. So let me go back over here to shooting guard. The two guard will be asked to get open for quick catch and shoot opportunities and create their own looks off the dribble. Alright, so this is for shooting guard. If it's like basically the same, I'll just move on to the small forward because that's not going to be the same. If I'm being honest, it's the same badges. You do still get defensive stopper on silver. Just skim through these real quick. Because basically a point guard and a shooting guard, they're basically the same. It's just I think a point guard is faster. I think that's really what that is all about. Because you really could just roll with 2 point guards in a sense. Just have one taller. But then again, you kind of miss out on an opportunity to have like a taller shooting guard. Yeah, these things are basically the same. I can still go through them, I guess. I just don't feel like anything will be different though. what I'll do is I'll just skim through these real quick, and then I'll just move on to a small forward because these seem similar, unless I'm missing something. But these basically seem like the same badges as earlier. There is probably no reason to ever make a playmaking slasher, in my opinion. I mean, well, nah, that's a waste of an archetype. Unless you like to pass the ball, that's a waste of an archetype. It almost kind of feels like playmaker secondary in any aspect is a waste of an archetype because passing is passing at the end of the day. I mean, unless you like throwing like lobs and like flashy passes, that's two-way slasher is basically, yeah, two-way slasher is definitely the same. Difficult shots. I just gave you difficult shots. Yeah, difficult shots has got it. All right, so difficult shot is definitely your fade ace post scoring badge in a sense. It's gotta be. They just threw it in there. I'm pretty sure they had difficult shots way back in the past, alongside fade ace. I could be wrong, but who knows? So rebounding, in other words, a glass cleaner is basically a defender, just like a pure slasher is basically a defender. So we got shot creating, driving, and finishing. And did I do that thing? Hold on, let me see. Did I just do that thing again? No, no, no. Okay, you saw the architect. You can just go back and pause the video. Deep range Deadeye. You actually get deep range Deadeye with a shot creating primary. I'm not sure if that was in the point guard one, but I just noticed that. I'm not sure if I pointed that out or not. And you get limitless range too. Man, they buffed the hell out of shot creators in terms of their shooting ability. But the only thing is, you don't get difficult shots on Hall of Fame, so they nerfed but buffed them at the same time. Like, I guess because you don't probably need it though. That's the thing. I mean, it really all comes down to gameplay. You know what I mean? How people are gonna actually be using these builds. And it's like, can you still be like fading, like leaning like hella out of bounds on like the corner? You know what I'm saying? Can you still do that like all the time as like your go-to move? Probably because 2K usually a game of percentages. So dimer charge card. Ugh. As far as my opinion on these badges, I mean on these type of archetypes, my opinion it really isn't being swayed other than like a pure slasher. But even then, given the way I like to play, a pure slasher just wouldn't work for me. I usually just go for playmaker primary. So, but definitely the way these badges are being placed, I can't say I can't say I'm against them. I'm definitely not against them. To give you bronze posterizer with this one. This was a very common one. Very common, and I used to hate going up against this archetype in 2K18. I mean, I used to deal with it. It really depends on how somebody plays with this archetype. At least back in 2K18, because you had Hall of Fame badges then. Here, you're not getting any. People will still probably use this badge to still be just as effective. Because at the end of the day, it's really based off of you as a player. I mean, they can give you the tools. You just got to do what you got to do. Drop stepper. That really is crazy how a shot creator is basically a post scorer. I think that's really funny. It's basically shot creator is basically a guard version of a post scorer. Okay, so that's something you definitely did not get as a point guard. You did not get up and under specialist on Hall of Fame. So that's definitely a change I do notice. You actually get catch and shoot on gold too. In the point guard variation of this, I think you get it on silver. Any other changes? I think you get Lob City Finisher Silver. I don't think that's not a thing in as a point guard. I don't even think you get that bitch on bronze. I mean, and you even get limitless range. Like what? I mean, I guess. Let me look at the attributes. So basically, where it says at the 3 point where it says 3 of 13. So 13 means that basically you can shoot from limitless range. Then, if it's as long as it says 13, is that what I can take from that? So that means 13 is a decent shooter. Maybe not consistent, but decent enough. Cause catch and shoot is. I really don't know how well of a badge that. I don't really know how well that would work. I don't know. That's something to consider. That might be some people's secondary build when they get done with their first one, or they get pissed off because they feel like they're getting shafted. Okay, a thing to take away from this one: you don't get a defensive stopper badge at all. You get hustle rebounder though. So if take what you will from that, I guess. You do still get pickpocket, pick dodger. I think you probably get better attributes. You probably get more better attributes if you're playmaking. I mean, a rebounding playmaker as a point guard. I think, if I remember that correctly, but I don't think so. Okay, so because obviously all the shooting is coming from being a shot creator primary. So now this is the slashing sharpshooter, shooting guard, 7 of 19. Deep range deadeye. Okay, I'm noticing some. I think I'm noticing some immediate differences. I think. I think so. Again, I'm just like the first three of those. Limitless range. I might be confusing it for when slasher was the primary. Yeah, you get defensive stopper on bronze. I'm really keeping an eye out for that defensive stopper because it's like your main defense. It's like your main defensive badge, and then all the other ones kind of act off of that. How all the other ones are really just like purely situational. I mean, you're gonna need that pick dodger in a sense. I don't really know how strong Brick Wall is gonna be in this game, because Glass Cleaner's got that bitch on Hall of Fame probably. Probably, I'm not certain on that. 7 of 21, 6 of 22. Looking at mid range and 3 point. Right off rip. Surprisingly enough, even though shot creator is your secondary, mid range is still higher than your 3 point. Like at least it will be in the future. How that's the okay then. All right then. I have no further comments on that. Deep range dead eye on Hall of Fame. I can't remember. Did you get those badges on Hall of Fame as a point guard? I'm almost tempted to go back and look, but I'll look at that later because I went through all of them before as a point guard. I went through all of them, so I'll just go back and I'll just replay the stream over. For another specialist, Lob City finisher. Hmm. I don't know why the hell are they giving you Lob City finisher. Again, because of the shot creator, but like, why though? You know what I mean? It just seems like a waste of a badge for some archetypes. I don't know if it. All right. And also don't quote me on this. I read this just out in the blue. They said that Hall of Fame limitless range isn't gonna work the same as it did in the previous years. I don't really know what the hell what that's gonna entail because how would it not work the same? It's a Hall of Fame limitless range. Usually it takes forever to get Hall of Fame badges. And you mean to tell me people can't shoot from damn near half court anymore? I mean, I'm not mad about that. I feel like pure sharpshooters are pests, but I mean, at the same time, what's the difference? Because then what makes it different from a gold limitless range? You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference then? So I guess at that point, again, it just all comes down to gameplay. This range, Tyler score, catch and shoot, mid range, dead eye, pick and popper. Huh. See, again, I just don't see the use for this. I don't see the use for this. Maybe to like just shoot threes, really. But I mean, if you just like to pass the ball, but because this is definitely not a speed boosting build. Not even the point guard variation of this is a speed boosting build in no way, shape, or form. I mean, maybe if 14 gets you there, then I guess then you could take that with a grain of salt. But I think the numbers differ because I'm just looking at the single digit numbers. I think, let me see, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, that only counts up how many slots you've already taken up, and then how many slots you're going to take up eventually once you max it out. Not necessarily the number, like the actual attribute number of it. And on top of that, you're not even fast. Nor will you be fast. Two-way slasher, pretty common build. Okay, defensive stop on silver. We all know that. It's all well and good. I mean, nothing real out of the ordinary there. I don't know if you had catch and shoot on goal last year. I didn't really pay too much attention to that. You get catch and shoot. You get catch and shoot on Hall of Fame as a post scoring sharpshooter, as a shooting guard. You do not get that as a point guard. I want to make that very. I think. I think so. I was certain before, but then now I'm having my doubts. I don't think you got that on Hall of Fame, so that's something you can, if you want that, sure. That can be really beneficial in a sense. Yeah, that could be really beneficial. That would definitely help out those corner shots and everything else. Because that's something you can really kind of focus your player off of. Rather than you dribbling all the time. I mean, that's really dependent on who you have on your team. Yeah, it's really dependent on that. If you have niggas who don't want to pass the ball to you, or like you're just in a game where basically someone else is like, the main, someone else is priority number one, then that kind of neglects that badge for that particular game unless they call your number. Again, with the Lob City passer thing, like why, why? Like look at your passing, 2 of 9, 2 of 9. Why would they give you a Lob City passer badge? They feel like they just give you filler badges just to give it to you. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you got 9 bronze badges. You might want to check those out. And it's like, but you gave me Lob City passer. Or it's like, I'm a point guard. I don't have rebounding in my archetype, but then you give me hustle rebounder. Like what? You just gave it to me just to fill up a slot, just to make me be like, ooh, I got one more badge than this archetype. Head ass. Mid range that pick a popper. Dude driving a bike outside and shit. Love City finisher, posterizer. So all of a sudden now you a dunker. Okay. Rebounding all of a sudden makes you a dunker. I didn't know that. Man, I wonder if that dude Reed gonna have a pure glass cleaner. He might be dominant this year. I mean, he probably argued that he was dominant last year. I don't really have an opinion on that. But if he goes with a pure glass cleaner, like the same as this year, he might be something vicious this year. Especially since I think he was a 94, 95. I don't know what the hell. I don't remember his fucking overall. He was pretty damn dominant though. But I'm gonna scroll over one more to passing. So this is the slash and playmaker variation. The still one man fast break's the only thing that you get. Ankle breakers on gold this time. Last year they gave you point guard and shooting guard. You had Hall of Fame ankle breaker if you were this archetype, which was something that heavily swayed me over to that heavily swayed me over to this build because I was gonna go to Sharpshooter Playmaker, but then there was like no Hall of Fame badges. I was piggybacking off of 2K17, whereas you had 5 Hall of Fame badges, and yeah, I pretty much was just going off of that. I mean, it's not like I wanted to break people's ankles, but I felt like everyone once in a while. If it happened every once in a while, I'd be like, oh, that'd be pretty satisfying. That shit happened all the time, and not even with the Hall of Fame. You had to have boosts really to activate it though. I think that's pretty stupid and inconsistent. I mean, if you work hard as hell for a Hall of Fame badge, it should work more often than a gold, silver, and bronze. I feel like, and I'm pretty sure other people feel the same way. Alright, so yeah, that's that. I'm really gonna be looking out for those pure slashers though. That's something you gotta be looking out for. Like they gonna be a threat. You get one man's fast break, then what's the point of the fucking slashing playmaker? Hold on. Literally it's almost literally the exact same badges in terms of that. Truth be told, Lob City Furniture Posterizer, you better be able to dunk on somebody then, because you still get the same badges except because you get Lob City Finisher, but it's on bronze, and I don't. Maybe you get Posterizer. Do you get it on? No, you don't get Posterizer though. That's the thing. But see, if you can't dunk on somebody with a silver Posterizer, what the fuck is the point? What's the point if you can't do it? If you literally cannot do it, there's no point. You'd be better off going with a shot creating playmaker. Because again, I had slashing playmaker last year, and I had a silver posterizer. I was not dunking on anybody, but I was going, like I was dunking in traffic every now and again though. And I think this is because I was 6'4". A lot of things I've been hearing about is people gonna be mainly making a 6'4". They're gonna try some things out with a 6'5" and maybe see if they can still speed boost. I thought I was gonna initially go back to making a 6'5" guy too, but now I'm having my doubts. Now I think I might have to go back to a 6'4" because then I might fuck up my initial build. But the thing is, I won't know this because I don't have the advantages of some of these as these like bigger YouTubers have, where they are able to cause they started out with a decent amount of VC. At least some of them did, I think. I haven't watched anything of theirs as of late. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, if I had to pick between a shot creating playmaker or a slashing playmaker, and this is just me basing off of how I play, I would definitely go with a shot creating playmaker shooting guard. I don't know if it's the same for a point guard, but I would definitely choose that for a shooting guard over the slashing. All right, so this shit should basically be the same. Yeah, all this is the same. Yeah, that's all the same. Pure playmaker. I think the difference here is you get one man fast break on Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah. They actually switched it. You get break starter on gold now, and you get one man fast break on Hall of Fame. That's the difference here between a point guard and a shooting guard. And you only get one. You get quick reflexes on silver. So they basically your defensive prowess actually went further down in a sense. Corner specialist, acrobat, dropper, relentless finisher, charge card. So that's basically a 2K18 build. So your pure playmakers are not the desirable build to make. Maybe last year, maybe, but oh, hold on. What is the stats looking like? I mean, you'll be able to shoot. Not gonna. I mean, like they say, pure playmaker. You're not really a slasher. You're not really a shooter. So you're just there. You're there being a passer. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts to say that, but that's the case. Defensive stopper, chase down artist. So all your silver badges are all defensive. Literally every single one of your silver is defensive. Corner specialist. You get corner specialist, and you for whatever reason get posterizer too. So your bronze badges, other than like the first one, are all slashing, and then you get one shooting badge because the game, I guess, wants to throw in a badge to make you feel like you can shoot, and you probably can't. I mean, no, you probably can if you max it out. If you manage to somehow or another get all your 3 point rating, you probably be able to shoot decently. Then again, you have to consider the actual attribute numbers though. These are you know base ratings, I guess, that don't necessarily mean the actual numbers. And they give you Lob City Passer for some fucking reason. I guess because the post scoring is, yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a switch here because you did not get. I don't think you got two Hall of Fame badges as this same exact build as a point guard. So that's something to go back and look at if you want to make this build or if you want to just look at it just to know it. To give you posterizer again. Very generous with that posterizer, I'm noticing. Gonna fool a lot of casual players. I'm just saying, you're gonna fool a lot of them with that one. Breakstar Hall of Fame. I think that's pretty much the same. All playmaking stuff. Maybe a little bit of slashing mixed in there with a bit of defense. Your rebounding secondary skill only comes in for the silver badges. In yeah, that's pretty much about it. Definitely not a desirable archetype. Defending primary with slashing secondary. Just to look at the attributes again, real quick. Defensive stopper on goal. What was the Hall of Fame badges again? Okay. Okay. Corner specialist. You actually get that on silver. That's new. Neither of these things have anything to do with shooting, but you get that bitch on silver. And what is your thing? 1 of 7. 1 of 7, but you get that bitch on silver. I don't know what that means. Cause see now they're breaking away my whole thought process of what the hell these badges are actually gonna do for you. I don't know how effective these badges are gonna be. Cause they are very generous. But I feel like it's for a reason though. I just don't know the reason. Like they're throwing some of these badges and they're putting them on these different tiers for a reason. I feel like quick reflexes. Man, that's a waste of a Hall of Fame badge, man. In my opinion, they could have get. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe quick reflexes is more effective this year. I mean, at the end of the day, quick reflexes only if it's only for like getting interceptions. That's really based off whether or not a player can actually notice if a pass is coming or not. Sometimes people got that old man reaction times. I've been guilty of it more than my fair share of times. You know, so I'm like, sometimes it's easy to predict when a pass is coming to steal that bitch, but then sometimes you get like a bad animation. It's like I don't know, like does having a Hall of Fame quick reflexes fix that problem? Like that's not gonna happen to you as often, or would you be able to steal those passes that are like when you're literally like right in front of somebody, or like maybe not right in front of them, but like a few feet back to where like your guy can like see the pass and then potentially react to it quickly, because that makes sense. I can't really see quick reflexes making any more sense other than just stealing passes because that's when you need to have quick reflexes. That's an in the moment kind of action. You get deep range dead eye with this build too. So shot creating is definitely a variation of a shooting, a 3 point shooting build. Now, definitely something to take away from all of this. That's that's crazy. And for whatever reason, you're getting silver posterizer with a sharpshooting defender. What is your inside your inside capabilities look trash. That looks bad. And they giving you a silver posterizer. As a shooting guard, mind you, not even as a big man. I mean, I guess if you can get down there, maybe. Just, I don't see that being useful. It's just a filler badge at this point. Free throw ace is on silver. So, I think this, I don't know, man. I really don't know about that. I don't know about that. I would not do this. Man, my GameTimeJames with that corner specialist. They gotta chill with that. Alright, and this is the pure lockdown for a shooting guard. Gave you Loud City finisher on gold. Rim protector as a shooting guard. That's new. Interesting. That's something you do not get as a point guard. You don't get putback king as a point guard either, but you do get rim protector. I think that badge actually still does something though, even if it is on bronze. So that's definitely interesting. And free throw ace is on silver. I wonder, is there an archetype where the free throw ace is not even on on that build? Not for any particular reason other than they just forgot to put it on there. I doubt it, but okay. So post scoring is also a passing build, which is hilarious considering the fact that post scorers don't pass the ball when they go down there. All right, they'll have someone wide open sitting right behind them, but majority of the time they don't pass. I mean, I'm sorry to lump them all together because I know there's some of them that do pass, but them and glass cleaners, ooh man, they don't like to pass it when they get that rebound, or they don't like to pass it when they in the post. All right, they have a nigga wide the fuck open right behind them. Literally, all they gotta do is look to the right or just look to the left, and like, cause the help defense came from somewhere. That don't mean you just keep holding the ball. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, just saying. Listen, if they don't listen, especially if you got a team full of shooters, you gotta be looking. It's different if it's walk on. Oh, that's the other thing too. I'm gonna be curious about if you playing like pro am walk on or whatever the fuck they want to call it in this game. Yeah, will you be getting? I was not paying attention to the Hall of Fame badges, but like, will you be able to? Will you actually be able to know? Like they said they put it in here, so I'm gonna be expecting it. I'm gonna be expecting it of knowing people's archetypes and stuff like that. That's the thing I really want to know. Corner specialist on bronze. Neither one of those things have anything to do with shooting, but yet just throw in a filler bash just to give him some bronze. It's hella generous for no reason. Alright, man. Get me off this fucking shooting guard. Now, the small forwards. The three needs to be versatile enough to move seamlessly between outside shooter and inside scorer at a moment's notice. I wonder if, because even though the build was not that common, it still seemed pretty effective. People could shoot from what I was seeing on YouTube. People were able to dunk, not on people, which is the part that kind of makes that build a bit weird in a sense. But the most important thing is people were able to speed boost with the boost. I mean, with the archetype that I'm talking about, and I'm referring to it was a 6'10" pure point forward. I thought that was a pretty interesting archetype and how like people. I don't even know how people even found that out. I was like that you couldn't have just tried that out. That he was like, oh, I'm gonna just make a 6'10" pure point forward, like for the hell of it. Like no, like there had to have been prior knowledge, or there was a source out there that said that shit, and then people started doing it. But then again, like I said, it was rare. It was rare to find that. But it's the pure slasher for the small forwards. Again, you get defensive stopper on silver. So I think that's just, if you're a pure slasher, enjoy that defensive stopper on silver. Enjoy it, because that is crazy. You can look at the attributes. Ball handling is surprisingly good. I want. That's something I've noticed. Ball handling is surprisingly good. Because I think that might match a fucking point guard, sharpshooting playmaker. I think, in terms of in terms of these set of numbers, not probably in terms of attributes. Like what you would actually get. I probably would like equate to like a 70 or some shit. Fuck. Mob City finisher, still getting that on Hall of Fame. Posterizer on gold. That should always be gold. There's no reason for that to ever be silver or lower. Difficult shots. I think someone I know go with this build at one point. Defensive stopper on bronze. If Guwap ever watches this video, So I think this is the one he needs to be paying attention to if he's gonna play this position again. This one and the power forward spot, 'cause he played both of those spots. Deep range that difficult shots, catch and shoot. Put back king. Pick and roll up and under. Mid range that eye. Interesting. That defensive stopper went to a bronze. Again, I feel like this build is useless. There's no reason to have the playmaker secondary when you could just go with like a shot creator. There's no point in getting a passing, like, because passing and ball handling is a split between being able to ball handle and pass. That's the whole thing with playmaking. I feel like you would be better off just going with a shot creator, because you're not gonna because unless you can speed boost, there's no point. Or I mean, at least unless you can at least get the elite animations, there's no point. So you'd be better off just going with a shot creator, and that's just my opinion. But I feel like it's valid. It's a feeling. It's an opinionated feeling, but it's still a feeling nonetheless. Defensive stopper on silver. See, you would think. I mean, in a sense, I'm kind of like I'm conflicted because I feel like if you're gonna give pure slashers silver defensive stopper, there's no point in you ever making a two-way slasher. There is no point in that. Don't make a two-way slasher if you're going to be a slasher primary. Just make a pure slasher. You'd be doing yourself a favor. I mean, maybe. Hold on, let me go back and look. If you'd have to compare the This is a pure slasher. And this is the case with every archetype. Every like position that I've viewed up to this point: point guard, shooting guard, and this position. Because in regards to a two-way playmaker, you're getting like the two Hall of Fame badges that you would have normally gotten anyways from like a pure slasher. Your vertical is still there. It's like your vertical is still there. Vertical is still the same. Speed still the same. Let me see what else. Steals, blocks. Maybe it's the numbers. I guess it's the numbers. That's really what it matters. What it all really delves down to. But if you're looking at this just in badges, pure slasher all the way, in my opinion. Definitely, because there's no point. Because your defensive stopper is a waste. Why go with a two-way slasher when you can get defensive stopper versus a silver? Fuck. Why go with a two-way slasher for a silver defensive stopper when you can go for a pure slasher and you'll still get defensive stopper and you'll get more offensive badges anyways and more Hall of Fame? I don't understand why anyone would do that. It just see, there was my throat again getting dry. I feel like it negates a two-way slasher. I think that's where they might have flubbed up there. I don't know. They just forgot that two-way slashers two ways were in the game, or it just there's no point to having that if you can get away with that. Hell, you can get a defensive stopper silver with a post scoring slasher. So that's two builds in the slashing category for primary that you can get defensive stopper on silver. I know I'm talking a lot about defensive stopper, but again, that's like the main defensive badge that I'm really looking at. Considering that I want to know how they increase defense. And I think that might have been how they did it. Though that's only been the case for slashers. That's the only thing. Hell, you'd even get a silver defensive stopper if you went rebounding. So basically, rebounding, post scoring, and defending, and pure slasher, small forward, you're definitely getting silver defensive stopper. You will not get defensive. You will not get those same. You will not get that same treatment if you're a shooting guard or point guard and you go for post scoring or rebounding in slasher primary. I don't think so. I don't think you get that same treatment. But just to finish up this one, difficult shots, brick wall. But yeah. Shot creating. I mean, slashing shot creator. Yes, you get a few shooting badges. Posterizer, catch and shoot is probably not gonna be as good as it was 2 years prior. Cause last year, I'm just calling it, bro. Last year, that shit was trash. I mean, it worked when it wanted to work, rather than working when it should work. I'm saying, I mean, how the hell you gonna have something that's an inanimate object like personified into like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like having you make this shot. Do all that damn grinding for the fucking badge not to work. Like, what kind of shit is that? Be in like the perfect position to have like three of your badges activate at once, and then they all just decide they don't want to come to work. Like, what the fuck is that? Okay, so definitely, I think they're definitely showing a little bit more love to pure, the pure shot creator in the small forward category too. Cause you didn't have any Hall of Fame. Hell, I don't even think you had a gold badge as a pure shot creator as a small forward. Which I'm gonna be interested to look at a pure playmaker because you definitely did not get oh, you might have gotten a few gold badges. You might have pure point forwards. Of course, especially this deep range that yeah. Yeah, shot creators are just they. I think shot creators might be the new meta, and they at least get a bronze defensive stopper. I mean, that's better than not having one. I mean, it doesn't do anything for you, but I mean, it's better than not having one. If bronze defensive stopper can at least still basically drop in offensive players' offensive badges, obviously if he's similar position to you, then yeah, I feel like that's pretty dope. Because one thing I want to make vividly clear, the defensive stopper badge was pretty much negated in the post. That's where you needed the rim protector badge. Yeah, in the post you needed the rim protector. Outside of the post you needed defensive stopper. Alright, so as of here, I mean, all in all these things are going to be the same. It's a matter of what you actually get based off of your position. I feel like ankle breakers actually not really placed that well on this build. I feel like they could have just gone without giving the player that, but they did it. I don't know. In terms of just like, because I feel like for like filler badges they could have done something else, just to give you a pointless badge just to grind for no reason. You know what I mean? It's really just like, oh, you want to waste your time doing this? Go ahead. I mean, obviously, everyone should start with their key badges first. Key badges, or if your secondary if you feel like your secondary is going to enhance is going to help with your other badges, then basically go for badges first that are going to help you get other badges. Like, if you were a sharpshooter, go for catch and shoot first. Which one you would get catch and shoot anyways, depending upon what drill you did first. But in game, if you make any like perimeter shot, you were gonna get catch and shoot. It's like it. Catch and shoot would help out with corner specialists. It would help out with limitless range. It would help out with deep range deadeye in terms of the drills that you would do. So and that goes the same way for all these other ones as well. Though for things like Lob City Finisher, that's really just a matter of get your attributes up so that way you can actually catch lobs, and also I don't really know because sometimes you can just I guess you don't necessarily have to dunk the lob to finish the lob. You just because they have an animation where you throw a lob to somebody and they fade away. They do a fade away jumper, and when they catch it and then just shoot it in midair, all in one motion. That's not really all that interesting. Just don't know why it's in the game. Sorry, I kind of scrolled through that kind of too fast. Let me go back up to the top. Yeah, the up and under specialist is a favorite among shot creators I see. Don't know why the hell they gave you Silver Posterizer as a two-way, but they did. Really don't know why they did that, but they did. You get a ton of silver badges. Breaker, they gave you Rim Protector. Okay. And hustle rebounder too. And brick wall. Though I don't think a brick wall on bronze is gonna do anything for you. I'm surprised. I don't know if I've been overlooking it or not, but I have not seen. Oh no 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 no! I've been overlooking it. I was about to say Bruiser. I have not seen Bruiser for some reason. I've been overlooking it. That's why it's been there. It's been under my radar. It's not the one I've been looking out for. So I'm surprised post scoring doesn't automatically come with Bruiser. Unless I mean I see it here, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the more useless, the more obsolete the badge. I mean, the archetype is. Like, say, like for like a point guard, it just really doesn't make sense for you to be a rebounder like at all. I feel like they should give you more bronze badges than anything else. Yeah, because it's just to tell you, hey, this build is meh. You probably shouldn't do it. I mean, you can look at it and if you want to do it, sure. But if you want to actually be good at the game, then please don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Alright, so shot creator definitely ends up getting deep range, dead eye, limitless range. What did that shit? What was that? Hold on. What was that for a pure shot creator? You actually get difficult shots on Hall of Fame. Was that the case of the other ones? It should have been if it wasn't. Corner specialist, deep range, dead eye, limitless range. I really wonder how effective those are going to be for a pure shot creator. But alright, I'm gonna move on to a sharpshooter primary. Right off rip, you get no Hall of Fame badges. Couldn't even grace your ass with a fucking like Hall of Fame corner. Truth be told, I thought that they were gonna like probably give at least everybody at least one Hall of Fame badge, whether it be useful or not, just to kind of give you a direction of where you should be going with your archetype. But then then I think about it, I'm like, nah. 'Cause I think at that point, I mean, if the gold badges can't really tell you where the fuck you should be, what you should be doing, then I think you probably shouldn't be playing the game at that point. Hmm. Part of me really wants to create a pure slasher. I think that might end up being my secondary build. Like, I don't know for what position. That much I don't know, but I think that might end up being the move after I get so far with my first character. That is, if I decide to play this game when it comes out. I did not mean to do that. You see, again, it's just 3 14. More than likely, that's probably gonna end in like the 70s. I mean, and I'd hate to get like real close to. Oh my goodness, I'd hate to have a build that gets me close to tier 3 dribbling, but then I can't actually speed boost. That would piss me off. Yeah, if it ended at like 85 or 83 or some shit like that, and it's like maxed out, you can't upgrade no more. That would blow my mind, bro. That would blow my mind. It's a two-way sharpshooter. They give you rim protector. Yeah, man. I don't know why, because when I was hearing about them talking about defense, I was thinking like, oh, maybe two ways are gonna be more useful this year. Now I'm like, as I've been going through this list, and I'm kind of like, I guess we'll just let gameplay decide that. Gameplay, I have to decide that, you know what I'm saying? Because my goodness, you definitely will not be able to be like Kawhi Leonard. I'll tell you that much. You will not be able to be like Kawhi Leonard. I don't even really know what Kawhi Leonard even is, to be perfectly honest. Because I guess you could say he's a two-way slasher, but he can shoot threes. I don't know how consistent he is though. I think he's pretty consistent. I think he is. I mean, I think to be safe, a two-way slasher or a slashing defender would be your best bet to make him, or hell, probably even a pure slasher. Yeah, like, I wouldn't even put it past a pure slasher to be him, because they do give you a corner specialist bat, so you can shoot in the corner. So I mean, you could. I mean, it's something. It's something. I would definitely say that much. It is definitely something. Huh. They actually gave you a defensive stopper badge for this. So what I can take from the post scoring and rebounding sections of these like perimeter archetypes is that I think they're gonna have more interior defense than they did in the previous 2K. So I think the actual rim protecting in this game. What the fuck? Anyways, I think big men are going to be actually more defensive oriented, even if they're not like just defenders. Just to give again another overlook at the attributes, as I think I just kind of scrolled through some of the things a little too fast as I was talking, so you can look at them, look at the attributes, and kind of make your decision off that. I don't know why anyone would not be playing the Prelude already, but if you're not, then or you can't find it, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck your excuse may be, just just play things over and just like pause them and stuff like that whenever I'm going through, and you should be straight. I mean, just like to have a discussion about the archetypes. I will get into gameplay later, or I might have to restart the stream in order to do that. Cause I don't really even know how long the stream has been going on, but I've been looking at these for a while. But the thing is, I came with this in with the intentions. I knew I was going to be looking at these for a while, because this is the point that matters. This is the thing that matters. Like this is what makes or breaks your character. That's in this version of 2K nowadays. This is the era that we're in. So this is the most important decision of your my career, I guess. If you want to be that fucking dramatic about it. Pick and roll it, huh? Slash and point forward. What was the Hall of Fame badge that you get? You actually get gold ankle breaker. Interesting. One man fast break ankle breaker. I actually know. Actually, I'm aware of somebody who plays. Actually, this was the build he made first, and he does. No, no, this is the build he made second, and he does. He will get gold ankle breaker. Unlike in the last year's 2K where that was a silver. Free throw ace on silver. I wonder what's gonna be the difference between having free throw ace on gold and Hall of Fame and then having it on silver. I've never seen free throw ace on bronze. I might see it when we get to the big men, but I think that's gonna be interesting because you can't just foul and you might be able to hack niggas in this game. Like you might actually be able to pick and choose who you hack in order to make those game winning free throws. I think that's different. 2K's never done that before. Hmm. I heard this wasn't a good build in 2K18. Again, I said I heard it was not a good build. I don't know if it actually was. And so I saw like one person play with that build. One out of the entirety of 2K18. One person, and I was on the park. I may have played with a couple people that were on. I don't know. Pure point forward. This was the build I was talking about. You do get ankle breaker on gold. You actually get way more Hall of Fame badges than you did before. Or is that the same? Is it the same? I feel like you. I don't know. Cause I was going to try and make that in 2K18. I was not like I'm talking like recently. This is like within like the past like month or two of 2K18 being out. you're a decent free throw shooter, defensive stopper. Because this was a, I mean, I heard this was a pretty useful archetype at 6'10", and you were able to do damage. But I guess that probably won't be the case nowadays. Cause I haven't heard too many people talking about it. I feel like this people probably don't want to use this build more than likely. Yeah, this build will probably end up being obsolete. Post scoring, people don't go with this build. Who the fuck would go with that? Even though you get 3 Hall of Fame badges, they all have something to do with passing. So that's, again, I'm like at the end when I'm just trying to look at the badges. I'm only interested in the badges because as far as all this is concerned, I don't necessarily care, but I care at the same time. I care because I want to know, but I don't care because it really doesn't concern me as my. I'm gonna just go from like back. So it's the rebound and point forward, post scoring point forward, whole lot of P's, two-way point forward, two-way point forward. I don't know what I just said. Pure point forward. Oh yeah, you definitely should be able to. I feel like considering those attributes, you definitely should be able to speed boost again. I don't know how well, if you being 6'10", how much that's gonna drop it, because the height and weight we hadn't even gotten to that part yet. That part is gonna be a big factor as well, from what I heard. Again, that's all speculation. So we'll see about that if we see any 6'10" pure point forward. Someone's got to try it out. Someone's got to try it out and then let everybody know. Shot shooting point forward. Speed and acceleration. That is a significant drop off. Yeah, because you can get that shit maxed out doing that. And then you definitely should be fast. You were a small forward, you could definitely go with that. It's the shot creating point forward. And then lastly, the slashing point forward. Alright, let's move on. Because mainly I might come back to the stream and then try to figure out, like when I might come back to, I might, like after the stream sometime later on down the line, say I get this game or whatever, and I want to look at the builds again. Because I typically do this anyways. And I want to look and see what kind of changes that they made over time with the patches and stuff. Like what got patched, what badges were making certain builds overpowered. I would like to know. So slashing defender, pickpocket on Hall of Fame is the biggest thing I noticed right there. I don't think did you get that before? Was that a thing earlier? Pickpocket on Hall of Fame. I wonder how well that works. Remember, it's not all about steals and getting blocks. It's reading offense and knowing where and how to inflict maximum disruption. That is interesting. I feel like I wish I knew. I really do wish I knew about a two-way playmaker before making that, because I don't want to make the same mistake again. Because one, I'll probably end up making a two-way playmaker and then just not even playing with him. Like, what's the point of even doing the prelude with that logic in mind? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? I might as well just make a sharpshooting playmaker because that's how I play in a sense. Though I want to be very clear, in 2K18, it was nice to be able to slash to the basket because that's really what that build was all about. That's the reason why you had Hall of Fame ankle breaker and then a silver posterizer. The whole point of that archetype was to drive and then kick the ball out. In other words, you were able to speed boost because you were a playmaker primary, and you had all the dribble moves. So the dribble moves and everything, and the ankle breakers, all it was to get defenses to close in on you as you're driving, and then be able to finish if they were late getting to the basket. Basically, that was like the whole point of that build. And if they came, like basically if they helped over and people didn't rotate slow, you find the open man with your passing ability, and then that was basically the entire archetype right then and there. That was the entire thing. The spotting up was difficult as hell. uh, Going into the paint was a challenge. That was a challenge. But see, again, my guy was 6'4". People made theirs where they were like 6'7" at times, and personally, I regretted not doing something similar to that. 6'7", that dude might not have been a no, yeah, that's the tallest you can be as a point guard. I forgot. But yeah, you actually get rim protector on silver with this. That's new. But then again, this is a small forward, so I shouldn't be surprised. Oh, lockdowns. I wonder how you guys are gonna be locking shit up and whatnot. You actually get deep range now. Huh. Sharpshooting defender. I feel like you get more shooting badges this time. Or like you get more like effective shooting badges probably this year. Brick wall. You actually get brick wall. No kidding. And you get bruiser on goal because of your defensive thing. Chase down artists implies that you're fast. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. Again, useless. There's no point, man. Don't make this build. Don't make this playmaking defender build. Don't do it to yourself. I mean, you may do it just to kind of prove me wrong, but again, what's the point? Don't do it. Don't do it simply to prove someone wrong. If you're gonna do it just because you're like, you know what? Because someone said it was because someone hated it, or someone was saying don't make this build. Is this meaning? Is X amount of time in the future now? I'm like, you know what? I'm still curious about the build. I'll make it just to make it. I have VC. I can spend it, and I can just see what this build is about. If you feel like grinding it, by all means, go ahead. Go ahead. I will not be doing that though. It's just I want to make that very clear. I will not be doing that. I wonder how effective is a defensive step on Hall of Fame. Like really, like in all honesty, because when it comes to gold tier and Hall of Fame tier, I'm still unclear. I'm still unclear. I don't know if I missed a tweet or a couple tweets or so, but I'm still very unclear about a Hall of Fame defensive stopper. You even get Lob City finisher on goal, rim protector on goal too. As a small forward, you blocking the hell out of some shots. Hold on, what do you get? You even got Chase the Artist. Oh my god. You got Chase the Artist on Hall of Fame, and you got rim protector on goal. You gonna be blocking the hell out of some shots. Cause you know, hey, that's what niggas do on the fast break when the offense got the ball and they run in the break game. Niggas be running down and just hitting triangle and just praying. That's what everybody does. They kind of try to stop that shit in 2K18, but niggas still do it because they still get the block. If people wouldn't get the block and stuff like that, then people would stop doing it. I learned to just not even do it, but because I'm a point guard. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a call. Okay, so bad news is I gotta leave soon. But I'm trying to hurry up and get through these real quick. And then I'll continue the stream when I get back. I'll like restream it and then basically just, yeah, you get the point. But you know what, so I'm just try to hurry up and skim through these. Okay. Difficult shots on Hall of Fame, so difficult shots is definitely your fade ace. Defensive stopper on bronze. Just skimming through these for now, and then I'll have to pick this. I'll pick this up with the big men. That'll be a separate stream. Get corner specialist. You get up and under on Hall of Fame. Do you get up and under on Hall of Fame? Yeah, you do. Look at that. Again, useless. I feel like playmaker's really primary dominant. So primary dominant bad archetype. So the two-way post scorer. These are definitely things to consider, especially if you're someone who's not initially making a big man, and then you want to make a big man later. Pure post scorer, difficult shots, post spin. Pure post scorer gets defensive stopper on silver, and keep in mind this is for a small forward. This is a small forward pure post scorer, so it might actually be possible to have three big men out on the floor. It's probably already possible, but like more so this year. So keep that in mind for those who want to play inside. You can have your small forward guy being the post scorer dude, and having your big men have probably like one or two of your big men being your outside people, along with your perimeter guys. That'd be a weird that'd be a weird way to do stuff. I'm surprised I never saw a team do any like a guard as a post scorer dude. You get defensive stop on silver with this archetype too. A guard as a post scorer, and he's like the primary primary offensive guy. Falling off what I've seen, everything is. There are definitely some things I was not expecting. Oh shit! Let me go back. I forgot. Post scoring. Just that's rebounding post scorer. Post pure post. Two-way post scorer. Playmaking post scorer. Sharpshooting and shot creator post scorer. And lastly, slashing post scorer. So yeah, that is what it is. I would definitely not go for a post scoring primary small forward. I wouldn't, but I feel like you can definitely get use out of that though. Probably more or less in a pro am standpoint, like for sure. But all in all, I will be back later, and I will start off, and I'll be starting that off with the big men.